So what an interesting question to ask in a blog that's about preaching. How do you preach funerals? What's your goal for a funeral? And we always say at Good Shepherd Church, whether it's a funeral where the body's there or a memorial service where the body's not, and probably 80% of what we're doing these days is memorial services as more and more people opt for cremation. But we always want to do three things. We want to do justice to the memory of the person who's died. We want to bring honor to God, and we want to bring comfort to the family. Justice to the memory, honor to God, comfort to the family. And so in crafting an experience to help make those things happen, whether it's music or prayers or the kind of close leash we keep on guest speakers for funerals, we need to know what people are going to say, because we can't have something said from our pulpit that violates what we believe. Like we won't let people say, well, God gained another angel, because God didn't gain another angel. Dead people don't become living angels. That would be a demotion. Human beings are of a higher created order. So we do keep that tight leash on what our guests can say at a funeral or memorial service. And in terms of the eulogy that you as a pastor craft, man, I always keep in mind, I want to give the people the opportunity for expression and permission. And expression meaning, how can I describe the person who's died in a way that's faithful to them, does justice to their memory, but also the grieving person will think, man, he got that exactly right. I am feeling that exact same way. I'm just going through such grief right now. I don't really have the words to articulate it. And that's the great privilege of being the pastor in those moments. You get to articulate or express what the people cannot. And then when I say permission, every good funeral or memorial service contains this line: grief is good. Grief is the gift that God gives us to get through a heavy loss. Why else would Jesus say, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted? People, you'd be amazed how rarely people have ever heard that before, because they've been told things that they read on Hallmark cards, don't shed a tear for me, or conventional wisdom that people who handle death the best are the ones who hold it all in. Like most conventional wisdom, that's a conventional wisdom that is completely wrong. And so we seek to give the people of Good Shepherd permission to grieve. Your tears are good. Your heavy memories and the sighs that emerge, that's to be expected. Man, if you're not feeling great grief, maybe it's because you didn't have deep love. So in all of that, we pray that if people show up to a funeral memorial service who don't know the gospel, haven't really heard about Jesus, what an opportunity you as preacher have to allow those folks to overhear something about the gospel. Something in the way that you talk about the person who's died, something in the way that you acknowledge the reality of grief, something about the way that you point to the hope of resurrection, not as a cliche, but as the deepest truth of the universe, will help that person overhear the gospel. And we've been blessed that we've had a number of folks whose first exposure to our church was when they went to a funeral here. And I pray that same good thing will happen in your church and in your ministries as well.